Pokemon Go's April Community Day Pokemon has been announced, and it is Snivy, evolving into Serperior with, wouldn't you guess it, Frenzy Plant. The date is going to be April 11th, and the hours are very likely going to be the standard Community Day hours of 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time. If Snivy and Serperior aren't your favorite Pokemon, or you don't think they're all that meta, there is a little extra incentive with this Community Day. They are also having a 3x catch Stardust, so obviously that stacks with the star piece once again, so big Stardust gains to be had. Even if you don't like Snivy and Serperior, you're probably going to come out of this event with a ton of shinies and some pretty good PvP IV ones, just because 3x catch Stardust, am I right? So, assuming that you are going to be participating in this event, and you are going to get the Snivy and the Serperior, well, just how good is Frenzy Plant Serperior in the meta? In this video, I'm going to be covering Serperior's utility in both Raid and PvP metas, and I think you'll be a little bit surprised just how good it can be. So for a general overview of Frenzy Plant Serperior's prowess in the Raid meta, I got the DPS TDO spreadsheet here on GamePress, link in the description if you want to check it out. And yeah, so here's page 1, including Shadow Pokemon and a couple unreleased Pokemon such as Shaymin Skyform and Mega Sceptile. And yeah, I'm not seeing Frenzy Plant Serperior here. We can go to page 2, and hey, there's Frenzy Plant Torterra, but no Serperior. Page 3, there's Ho-Oh, Hidden Power Grass Solar Beam, that's interesting. Page 4, hey, there it is, Serperior, with the Vine Whip and the Frenzy Plant. It has less DPS than Carnivine and Tangela. Yeah, if you're thinking about Serperior for the PvE, the Raid meta, it's really not all that great. Even if you are into like Poke Draft kind of stuff for Raids, I don't really think Serperior is all that great. I don't know how deep the draft meta can get for PvE, but Serperior is looking pretty inferior when it comes to the Raid meta. Of course, when it comes to Pokemon that are pretty poor in Raids, they always have a chance to, swing back in PvP. And yeah, you're going to see that happen with Serperior here, starting out with the Great League. So taking a look at Serperior's stats, they're really not all that bad for the Great League. Serperior already was pretty good for the Great League. You can see that its stats are basically analogous to Meganium. In fact, slightly better than Meganium. A little bit less HP, a lot more defense, a little bit less attack. So Serperior was already set up to be a powerful Grass-type Pokemon, and a lot of people do use Serperior to good effect in the Great League already. Of course, Serperior has Grass Knot, not Frenzy Plant, so that really held it back from having the punch that Meganium and other Grass-type Pokemon have. But now, the Frenzy Plant. So the main thing separating Serperior and Meganium is going to be Aerial Ace versus Earthquake. Now overall, Earthquake is a more useful attack, but Aerial Ace does have its advantages. I mean, you can beat other Grass-type Pokemon with Aerial Ace, and you can even hit Altaria and other Flying-type Pokemon with Aerial Ace, where Meganium would be stuck for the farm down. Serperior wouldn't be as trapped, unless of course you're up against Skarmory, then you're pretty boned. Well, Grass-type Pokemon being able to beat other Grass-type Pokemon isn't that nuanced of a thing. I mean, we have Venusaur with the Sludge Bomb, we've got both Tropius and Jumpluff, we got Cherim with the frickin' Weather Ball Fire, and Abomasnow with the Weather Ball Ice, so that's already a thing. But what these Pokemon all don't have is big Meganium tier bulk, which Serperior does have. So while all those Pokemon are going to be better at fighting against Grass-type Pokemon, they're not going to be as neutrally useful for pure Grass-type damage as Serperior would be because, big bulk like the Meganium. So there is an advantage to be had for that. That all said, Aerial Ace is a pretty poor attack. Compared to other attacks in PvP, it's actually wicked bad. Tropius and Jumpluff kind of make up for it because they're both Flying-type Pokemon as well, so they have the same type attack bonus on the Aerial Ace, and even with that, it's a pretty bad attack. Comparing it to other Flying-type charge moves on GamePress, Aerial Ace, 45 energy cost, 55 damage, it's like a straight-up worse Sky attack. And being a worse Sky attack is pretty bad. In fact, it's even a worse Drill Peck. Drill Peck has more damage and a lower energy cost than Aerial Ace. So if you ever needed a frame of reference for just how bad Aerial Ace is, well, here you go. That said, Aerial Ace does provide a unique kind of coverage for Serperior. It's not super unique to Grass-type Pokemon because Jumpluff and Tropius both have it, but as far as a super bulky mono Grass-type Pokemon goes, it's pretty interesting. So pretty interesting is great and all, but it really needs to have some meta viability, some utility to really stand out. So at the end of the day, what does Serperior have that other Grass-type Pokemon, matchup-wise, really don't? Well, it can beat both Shadow Victreebel and Bastiodon. So if you're not familiar, Shadow Victreebel and Bastiodon are the core for the quote-unquote Grasshole combo. Basically, if you don't get switch advantage, you're kind of done against this team because nothing can really handle both Bastiodon and Shadow Victreebel. Well, Serperior can. I think it might be the only Pokemon or the only like orthodox Pokemon that really can handle this combo. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. At any rate, yeah, against Shadow Victreebel here, in even shield situations, we're beating it. Now, this is using Leaf Blade. It's not like spamming the acid spray, so maybe that might change things up. And no, not really. No, it doesn't. We are still beating the Victreebel. And then when it comes to Bastiodon, the XL Super Best Buddy Omega Bastiodon, I guess Best Buddy doesn't matter, it just kind of caps out at 50, so the XL Bastiodon. So in that particular matchup, we do lose the 0 shield, we do lose the 1 shield, but we do win the 2 shield situation. So this suggests that Serperior is a lead Pokemon that can omni counter the Grasshole core, which is pretty big. On top of that, it still has all the Vine Whip Frenzy Plant matchups that Meganium has. You're just missing out on the Earthquake. So depending on what your team needs or what kind of meta you're expecting to walk into in the Great League, Serperior could be a very powerful lead option for PvP. I don't think it's bad at all. While other Pokemon do like more of the specific jobs that Serperior could do a little bit better, for doing this one specific job while also being good against, a good litany of other things, Serperior is not that bad. When it comes to the Great League overall, I don't think Serperior is going to be like a top tier meta Pokemon that everyone's going to want to have, but since you're going to be getting good IVs on your Serperior anyways, trying to get all that Stardust during the Community Day event, definitely not a bad Pokemon to have waiting in the wings and whipping it out when the time's right. And if you're into like the Sylph Arena, then yeah, you're already powering this thing up and getting it ready for PvP. Now, as far as the IVs are concerned on it, I don't know any attack breakpoints that really matter on the Vine Whip. Basically, any attack breakpoints that a Meganium might have, Serperior would also have as well. But what I think is really big for the Serperior, even more so than attack, is going to be its stamina stat. Because when it comes to this 2 shield situation against the perfect XL Bastiodon, you can see that we're only winning by 4 HP. It's a pretty tight matchup. So you really do want to have big HP. I really wouldn't want to go any less than 130 HP. So when you are looking at your different, Snivies to evolve for the Great League PvP, I'd say the tiebreaker should definitely be the stamina stat. Then followed by the defense stat, because big bulky Pokemon, you definitely want to be taking more of those hits pretty well. Unless some wisdom guides us otherwise, we find some gnarly attack breakpoint on Vine Whip that's really crazy for some important matchups that could swing things a little bit. But the way things are looking against Bastiodon, which is like the one big niche that Serperior has, being able to handle the Grasshole core, I think the stamina is going to be a pretty important stat to look at. You can bring the stamina stat to 133 as well, but only 2 IV spreads can hit that. That's the 0-1-15, and then obviously the 0-0-15. They can hit 133 stamina. Is that worth it compared to getting the extra defense from, the 0-10-15? That's for you to decide. There aren't any significant defense breakpoints that I noticed that we'd be missing, so if you happen to have the 0-1-15, then hey, go for it. And if you have both the 0-10-15 and the 0-1-15, well, evolve them both. It's Community Day, man. You got enough candy for that. Don't tell me you don't. Moving on to the Ultra League, Serperior does have some pretty good stats for being an XL Pokemon with the Best Buddy. Being able to get under the 2,500 while also being very high level, so that's great. But unfortunately, the Ultra League is pretty dominated by Dragon and Steel type Pokemon, and to an extent Charm users as well. And Serperior really doesn't offer a whole lot against that meta at all. I mean, Meganium at least has Earthquake for the Steel type Pokemon, but Serperior looking pretty inferior for the Ultra League. Even though you could, and you probably will have enough XL candies to do it after the community day, depending on how long you participate, and you also happen to be level 40, because if you're not, then you can't get XL candy, which is really freaking dumb. But yeah, not a good Ultra League Pokemon. And then to that end as well, not good in the Master League either. I won't do a little transition for that. I'll tell you right now, Master League Serperior, it's not a thing. And that about wraps it up for Frenzy Plant Serperior. It might not be the most superior Pokemon for raid content, but it does have a pretty solid niche in Great League PvP. And I mean, I say niche, but it is a really bulky grass-type Pokemon. Meganium levels of bulk, almost a direct parallel to Meganium in terms of bulk, with the Frenzy Plant and the Vine Whip. So it's really not a bad Pokemon in its own right. Aerial Ace is kind of a bad attack. It could be a little bit better if it had a reduced energy cost, so we'll see if there's an update in the future, but as it stands, for a secondary attack, Aerial Ace isn't all that great, but it is good enough to allow it to overcome both Shadow Victreebel and Bastiodon, the Grasshole combo, which is probably good enough to get this Pokemon on a lot of people's team in the Great League. Let me know, how hyped are you for the Serperior Community Day? I mean, obviously we're hyped for the 3x Catch Stardust, of course, but how hyped are you for Serperior in general? And are there any Grasshole combo breakers that the Swagman has completely overlooked? If I did, comment below, let me know what they are. I'd love to check them out. At any rate, if you enjoyed this content, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these patron supporters. If you want to support the Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. Next up, we have the Ultra League, and Serperior does have some good stats for, an XL Best Buddy Pokemon in the Ultra League, hitting 202,000